We've mapped 100% of Mars. Every crater, every canyon, every rock. A planet that's 140 million miles away. But we've only mapped 20% of our own ocean floor. The ocean covers 71% of our planet, and we have no idea what's in most of it. And what we are finding down there? It's stranger than anything in science fiction. Giant creatures that glow in the dark, cities swallowed by the sea, entire ecosystems that survive without sunlight, mountains taller than Everest that we didn't know existed until a few decades ago. So let's dive in. What's really under the ocean? Okay, imagine you're in a submarine descending into the ocean. For the first 200 meters, you've got sunlight. You can see fish, coral, the occasional sea turtle. This is the world we know from documentaries. But keep going. At 1,000 meters, that's about 600 football fields straight down, the sunlight completely disappears. Welcome to the midnight zone. And we're not even close to the bottom yet. Down here, the pressure is 100 times what you feel on the surface. That's like having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of your body. A single square inch of your skin would have over 1,500 pounds pressing on it. This pressure would crush a car like a soda can. But somehow, life thrives here. And here's the wild part. 90% of the animals in the midnight zone produce their own light. Bioluminescence isn't a cool party trick down here. It's survival. They use it to hunt, to communicate, to find mates in the infinite darkness. Take the anglerfish. That glowing bulb dangling in front of its face? That's a fishing rod made of light and bacteria. Small fish see the glow, think, hey, food, and swim right into those nightmare teeth. Down here, being seen means being eaten. And this is just the beginning. The deeper you go, the weirder it gets. And I'm not talking, oh, that's a funny-looking fish, weird. I'm talking, that looks like it was designed by HR. Geiger having a fever dream? Weird. Meet the vampire squid. Despite the name, it doesn't suck blood. But those red eyes, that cape-like webbing, and the fact that it's a living fossil that's barely changed in 300 million years? Yeah, the name fits. When threatened, it turns itself inside out and covers its body in glowing spines. Imagine if your defense mechanism was become a living nightmare, or the Barreleye fish. Its head is completely transparent. You can see its brain. Those green tubes, those are its eyes, and they can rotate inside its head to look up or forward. It literally has a glass dome head with rotating eyeballs. That's not evolution. That's science fiction. Then we've got giant isopods. Think of a pill bug or a roly-poly. Now make it the size of a football, 14 inches long, just cruising around the ocean floor like an armored tank. They're scavengers that can go years without eating. They just shut down their metabolism and wait. And we can't forget the goblin shark. Pink, prehistoric looking, with jaws that extend out of its mouth like the alien from, well, Alien. It shoots its entire jaw forward to snatch prey. And it's been doing this for 125 million years. Here's the thing that should blow your mind. Scientists estimate we've only discovered 10% of ocean species. 10%. That means 9 out of every 10 creatures down there are still completely unknown to us. We have no idea what else is swimming around in the dark. But it's not just the creatures that are mind-blowing. The landscape itself is more dramatic than anything on land. The mid-ocean ridge is the longest mountain range on Earth, 40,000 miles long. It wraps around the entire planet like the seam on a baseball. The Andes, the longest mountain range on land, 4,300 miles. The underwater range is almost 10 times longer, and we only discovered it in the 1950s. Then you've got trenches. The Mariana Trench is the deepest point in the ocean, 36,000 feet down. Mount Everest is 29,000 feet tall. You could drop Everest into the Mariana Trench and still have over a mile of water above the peak. Let that sink in. The deepest we've ever dug on land? About 7.5 miles. The ocean goes down nearly 7 miles in multiple locations. And volcanoes? There are more active volcanoes underwater than on all the continents combined. We've identified over 100,000 underwater mountains called seamounts. Some of them are taller than any mountain in the continental United States. Each one is like an isolated island in the deep, hosting its own unique ecosystem, species that exist nowhere else on Earth. And we're still discovering new mountain ranges, new trenches, new geological features. In 2023, scientists found a completely unmapped seamount chain off the coast of Guatemala. 2023, we're finding entire mountain ranges on our own planet in the age of TikTok and AI. But here's where it gets truly insane. In 1977, scientists were exploring the ocean floor near the Galapagos Islands when they found something that shouldn't exist. Hydrothermal vents, underwater geysers shooting superheated water from the Earth's crust. These vents spew water that's 400 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. Right next to ocean water that's barely above freezing. But temperature wasn't the shocking part. It was what was living around them. Giant tube worms. 8 feet tall, no mouth, no stomach, no digestive system at all. So how do they eat? They don't. They host bacteria inside their bodies that convert chemicals from the vent into energy. This is called chemosynthesis. Life powered by chemistry, not sunlight. Before this discovery, we thought all life on Earth ultimately depended on the sun. We found entire ecosystems, crabs, shrimp, fish, octopuses, thriving in total darkness, eating chemicals completely independent from the surface world. This discovery changed everything, because if life can exist in boiling, toxic, pitch-black water on Earth, what about Europa? Jupiter's moon with an ocean under its ice? Or Enceladus, Saturn's moon with hydrothermal activity? We found alien life. We just found it on our own planet first. But the ocean isn't just hiding alien-like creatures and volcanic landscapes. It's hiding our history. During the last ice age, 11,000 years ago, sea levels were 400 feet lower than they are today. That means massive chunks of coastline that ancient humans lived on are now underwater. Entire civilizations built cities on land that's now sitting under hundreds of feet of water. Heraclean, Egypt, an entire city mentioned in ancient texts. Thought to be a legend until divers found it in 2000, perfectly preserved under the Mediterranean. Temples, statues, ships, just sitting there, frozen in time for 1,200 years. Pavlopetri, Greece, 5,000 years old, the oldest submerged city ever found. Complete streets, buildings, tombs, an entire Bronze Age town. You can see the urban planning. This wasn't a village. It was a complex society with architecture and infrastructure. Off the coast of India, there's Dwarka, a legendary city from Hindu texts. Archaeologists have found stone structures, walls, and artifacts dating back thousands of years. How many more cities are down there? How many civilizations built, thrived, and were swallowed by rising seas? And that's just cities. There are an estimated 3 million shipwrecks scattered across the ocean floor. Roman trading vessels, Viking longboats, Spanish galleons filled with gold, World War II battleships. We're using LiDAR, sonar, and AI to scan the ocean floor, and every year we find new archaeological sites that rewrite what we thought we knew about ancient trade routes, migration patterns, and lost cultures. History is sitting down there. We just haven't found most of it yet. Now let's talk about what else is down there. Because the ocean floor isn't just a museum, it's a gold mine, literally. The seabed is covered in potato-sized rocks called polymetallic nodules. They're packed with rare earth minerals, cobalt, nickel, manganese. These minerals are critical for batteries, electronics, renewable energy technology, and there are trillions of tons of them just sitting on the ocean floor. 30% of the world's oil and gas comes from offshore drilling. We've been pulling resources from the ocean for decades. But here's what's really interesting. Marine organisms are producing compounds that fight cancer, bacteria, and viruses. Cone snail venom is being used to create pain medication 1,000 times more powerful than morphine. Chemicals from sea sponges are being tested to fight tumors. The ocean might hold the cure to diseases we haven't even figured out yet, but we can't find them if we don't explore. And then there are the mysteries. In 1997, underwater microphones picked up an ultra-low frequency sound louder than anything ever recorded. They called it the bloop. It came from the southern Pacific, near where H.P. Lovecraft placed the fictional city of R'lyeh. For years, people thought it was a massive unknown creature. Turned out it was probably an iceberg fracturing. Probably. But there are dozens of other unexplained sounds. Julia, slow down. Up sweep. We don't know what's making them. And while we're discovering treasures, we're also discovering our trash. Microplastics have been found in the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on Earth. We've touched the bottom of the ocean. We just did it with pollution before we did it with proper exploration. So here's the obvious question. If there's so much down there, why haven't we explored it? Because exploring the ocean is harder than exploring space. And I know that sounds insane, but it's true. In space, you're dealing with a vacuum, nothing. You just need to keep air in your spacecraft. In the ocean, you're fighting pressure that increases exponentially every 10 meters you descend. You need to keep the water out, and the deeper you go, the stronger your hull needs to be. In space, you can see stars that are billions of light years away. Clear visibility for unimaginable distances. In the ocean, you can't see 100 meters in front of you. It's like exploring in thick fog, except the fog is pressurized and wants to kill you. NASA's budget for 2024? Over $25 billion. NOAA's ocean exploration budget? About $60 million. We spend more on space exploration in a month than we spend on ocean exploration in a year. And deep-sea vehicles are expensive. A single submersible can cost $30 to $50 million to build. There are only a few vehicles in the world capable of reaching the deepest parts of the ocean. More people have been to space than to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. But things are changing. New autonomous drones, AI mapping systems, and cheaper technology are making exploration more accessible. The Seabed 2030 project aims to map the entire ocean floor by 2030. We're racing to fill in the gaps. Every expedition finds something new. Every dive reveals something that changes what we thought we knew. So let's recap. Right now on our planet, there are mountain ranges taller than anything on land. Creatures that look like they came from another world. Lost cities from forgotten civilizations. Ecosystems that don't need the sun. And we've barely scratched the surface. We live on an ocean planet, not a land planet. We just happen to be the species that evolved on the dry parts. But with new technology, AI, and renewed interest, the next decade might reveal more about our oceans than the entire last century combined. Speaking of which, next week we're going deeper. What's really at the bottom of the Mariana Trench? What happened when we finally sent cameras down there? And what did we find that wasn't supposed to exist? If your mind is blown by what's hiding in our own backyard, hit that subscribe button right now. We're diving into more mysteries that'll make you see Earth completely differently. Thanks for watching. And remember, the ocean is right there. We just need to look.